lot of ways to lose weight, but I'm going to talk to you about tonight is one way. And it's the way that I've done it in a very natural way.
Tonight was great. It was an opportunity to really get to the heart of the matter. And it really, to me, the main thing I talked about tonight was the wrong battle and understanding that it's not the food that we're fighting, you know, it's ourselves.
The real enemy was me and my food addict ways, my compulsive eating ways, and the lies I would tell myself, and the rationalizations, the dishonesty within myself about my behaviors with food and exercise. That was the real enemy. It was me. Once you identify that food doesn't want to fight you, and you can develop this friendship with food, then that battle's over. You don't have to fight food anymore. Keep it as simple as you can. If you focus on the real enemy, you start developing this friendship with yourself. So if there's no battle over here with food, and there's no battle over here with yourself, there's no battles left to fight.
I tell people all the time, I spent nearly 2 decades near, at, or above 500 pounds. And over the years tried so many different things to lose weight and just couldn't do it.
For years and years, I would take the excuse bypass, rationalization boulevard, would tell myself lies, take all kinds of detours, think I was on the right track, and then end up in a horrible neighborhood, you know? But I was looking for Transformation Road. And let me tell you something, I think I found it. You know, nearly 280 pounds later, I know that I found it.
It goes back to being honest with ourselves and that self-honesty and that personal responsibility and accountability.
And I went through a process of getting very real with myself. And about day 300, somewhere along there, I ran across something from Ralph Marston. This absolutely blew me away. And we realized something very powerful. We realized that nothing has held us back. No one has held us back but ourselves. And we have the ability to make good choices and to turn it all around. But it's these little things along the way that I had to recognize and I had to call myself on. And I had to really learn how to do something that I never did before. If this was going to work, then that calorie bacon trust had to be very serious. I had to maintain the integrity of that calorie budget every day.
When you start realizing that the life as you know it is going to start making some drastic changes, and that if you don't do something, you're not going to be the one controlling those changes, that's pretty scary.
One of the biggest lies I would tell myself is I have all the time. I wouldn't quite say it like that, Sean, you have all the time in the world. But my actions were saying that, you know? I was telling myself, oh, I've got time. I'll do it. Someday I'll do it. I knew this time had to be different. I had to get very real with myself. And that element right there, self-honesty, without that, none of this is possible. This makes it possible.
For me, it was realizing that there were certain parts of my life that were not going to wait for me to change.
So we got to identify the importance level. That's what I had to do. I had to identify the importance level. And so important is the better relationship with ourselves. But looking in the mirror and smiling and loving yourself and really being proud of yourself, you can't put a price on that. It's just amazing. What is going to make this different than all the others? I didn't know about any of this stuff on day one. All I knew on day one is I had to stay focused. And I had to talk to myself and keep myself on the straight and narrow.
One of the things I didn't talk about tonight is the power of journaling. And you certainly don't have to write a blog, you don't have to, share it with the world, but being able to sit down with yourself, because ultimately, the writing is for you. And if you sit down and write out how you feel and write out what you're experiencing and write out your past experiences and what you're doing now, what you're doing differently this time, it can really help you get to the bottom of a lot of different issues. I know it has for me, and I write about it, of course, in my blog, but the power of journaling, that introspective thought, has changed my life.
I'm a food addict, compulsive eater, an emotional leader. I'm that guy. So for me to overcome and to deal with these issues within myself and be successful at losing weight, I had to have a nothing is off limits approach. Because what it did was it taught me how to make better choices. It had to be natural, and it had to be a gradual evolution of good choices. As we do the best to stay within the bounds of our calorie budget, our choices naturally evolve. We learn all about portion control, the difference from the past attempts and now. So I was fighting the wrong battle. And what the Calorie Bank and Trust has taught me is that I can redefine my relationship with food.
A lot of people say, well, there will never be a dent made in the obesity epidemic in America. And I say, you know what? Don't be so quick to say that.
Whether you want to lose 20 pounds, 50 pounds, 100 pounds, 200 pounds, same thing. It's all relative to you. Form those motivating thoughts. Never let go. You can categorize your motivating thoughts into the super serious, dramatic, importance level motivating thoughts. And you can talk about fitting into a smaller car. This is what it's all about. It's about living. This is the most natural, the best way that I've ever found to lose weight. It's very real. It's very honest. And I'm not an expert, and I've never said I'm an expert. I'm just a guy who along the way, losing nearly 280 pounds, have had these epiphanies.
So that's my story. And in this whole weight loss journey has been about me choosing change before change chose me, because change was coming one way or another. And I just decided that I was going to stand up for myself and choose the change.